permission can give way to freedom. Hello, my name's Chet Davis, and this is Reflections. As we get closer to Easter Sunday, a myriad of thoughts and memories hit my mind from, a young child waking up Easter morning and searching for the hidden Easter basket for the collection of sweet treats and candies, to getting a little bit older and my father playing the Easter Bunny at the Easter egg hunt, and older still, as I learned to play the trumpet, my mother volunteered me, and actually I did enjoy playing the trumpet along with the church choir on Sunday morning for the Easter celebration. But the memory that's most vivid and I wanted to focus on today is one that happened 10 years ago this Easter. It was preceded by my father's bout with congestive heart failure. He had been sick for many months, actually a couple of years. And in the months leading up to Easter, as I went up to visit my parents regularly, living about 2 hours away from me, it was evident that Dad was not healthy. As he moved from his bedroom to the den, he, with a walker and with his oxygen tank in tow, it was clear it was a real struggle for him to do even what I would call simple things that most of us take for granted. And Dad would need to rest for 20 plus minutes as his body recuperated, even for a short walk. And I remember one time Dad candidly said, "Chet, I don't like living like this." And it was such a struggle. And yet I knew that it was his love for my mom, for his wife, that kept him going, that kept him alive. In a number of conversations, she would confide in me on the telephone, sometimes crying, "I don't know what I'm going to do without him. I'm afraid of the future." It was a real challenge for her too, because they were like two peas in a pod. They were inseparable. They did so many things together. They counted on each other. And only after my dad's passing did I learn how much my dad did take care of my mom. Well, it was Good Friday 10 years ago when my father admitted himself to the hospital. His congestive heart failure and his coronary artery disease, developing additional symptoms with some great swelling in his body and, again, difficulty moving about. Went up and saw Dad in the hospital. He was in good spirits, but clearly not well. Spoke with him on the hospital on Saturday, and then Sunday morning we got a call from the intensive care nurse advising that I should definitely get up there as soon as possible because it might be time to say goodbye to Dad. So we drove up there, and standing in the ICU room with my dad connected with breathing tubes and oxygen and all kinds of monitors, heart monitor, oxygen monitor, equipment all around beeping. And my mother and my brother standing there, we talked to each other, we talked around Dad, and there wasn't many signs he was conscious. He was certainly alive, but not very evidently conscious with us. We talked to the doctors, and they advised us that there really wasn't much of a chance of any recovery for Dad at this stage. And so we all agreed that it was time to remove him from life support. That would have been his wish, clearly stated. But we kept the medication going to ease his discomfort and pain. My mom drew close to my father. She gave him a big hug and a kiss, and surprised me with words as she shared that she would be all right, that it was going to be all right, that he could leave. And in that moment, my mom gave my father permission. She gave him permission. She gave him the freedom. And I tell you, I saw it in that room. my father's breathing eased. His shoulders, his body tense, loosened up. There was clearly a sign that my father heard those words and felt the freedom. And with her permission, within moments, he left and transitioned. Dad had passed away. I was so proud of my mom, and still am to this day, for that selfless act. Even amidst her sorrow and her uncertainty about the future, she gave him permission to do what he needed to do. And I continue to remember to this day that very powerful moment that I saw the power that her love, that her permission gave my father to experience freedom. And I wanted to bring this back to me and to you. And I want to ask you, is there someone in your life who maybe would benefit, who would experience freedom with your permission? Is there someone who maybe is struggling to keep up appearances, who's struggling to please you in some way? They think that they need to be somebody else because that's what you want or need or expect from them. And maybe, just maybe, the individual who you need to give permission for freedom is yourself. It's been said we are our own worst enemy, that oftentimes we stand in the way of our own success, of our own happiness, of our own future, of our own freedom. And I'm going to ask you to reflect this day and this week. Is there something in your life you need to give yourself permission for? That you need to give yourself permission to be the person you know you want to be, that person you know you are meant to be. Whether it's something you want to do, maybe it's a job, maybe it's travel, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a relationship. But take this opportunity to reflect and take action when appropriate to give permission so that freedom can happen. In closing, I'd like to invite you, to encourage you to go forward with kindness, with intention, with thoughtfulness, and make it a great day for yourself and those around you.